Hello collectors, so here we have another eBay seller here to introduce, Freestyle 2015. They have 7,000 star ratings, and inside this box is supposed to be this 13th Kenbox, which is this picture here. So I'm going to open some of these packages in my videos because I keep on getting the wrong stuff. And I have to document, I have to document this stuff so I can set up claims in eBay. It's really strange, but yeah, some people just send the wrong stuff. I've had labels shipped to me, like with no packaging, no product, I mean. Like I ordered a bunch of paintbrushes and only the label showed up, but not the brushes. So it's just crazy, you know? Anyways, this is a nice virgin box the seller is using. In fact, I mean, the seller has their own box, Freestyle, right? That's pretty impressive. There we go. And something else here. Okay, so it says Boostgear Model Car Shop. So that's why the eBay listing said Boostgear. They're actually a model shop, and I guess it might be like a special edition just for this shop that Aoshima put together. Yeah, I can't read Japanese, but you can pause it and Google Translate if you want. So now, after that, it's actually in this bubble wrap. So it says Kenbox and Boostgear. Now it says 22 and 25. So I guess that's supposed to tell us what's in it, but let's just take a look at this box here. So this series, the 13th collection, came out this year in 2021. But I have most of these other castings. So I decided to not get the case and just get these two. So those are the cars in the collection and their stories in Japanese. And then here the colorways again, if you want to pause and check it out. I never seem to see a date of copyright on these boxes. It's definitely licensed, you can see the approval there. But no, still no idea when these were made. I mean, we know there's 2021, but 10, 20 years from now, it's doubtful anyone's gonna know. Alright, get this thing going. So it's wrapped in tissue paper. And then there's tape. I think the tissue paper is to actually keep this blister pack from getting scratched up. You know, it's actually, without scratches, the blister pack is relatively clear, although the bulges do distort it a little bit. So that was this is supposed to be the Cresta, a Toyota. Let's open this next one here. So number 25 should be a Nissan Laurel. Sorry, there's always cat hair. Okay, so they have these bases. I don't know if this gold lettering is special, but it does say SP4 and SP6, so it might be. I would have to imagine maybe the regular series has silver lettering, and then the special or the chases have these gold lettering. So I've spoken about the Laurel on a couple of occasions because I reviewed a different Aoshima and just a regular, like Konami, I think it was. So I'm not going to talk about the Laurel much. We're just going to just look at the thing and see how cool it looks. Alright, so let's start with that then. Let me switch this though. So these pictures of our Nissan Laurel with the Liberty Walk body kit on. I don't know if it's going to be the same car. I only got to work off the photo of the eBay listing, so. But you'll see this does have a radiator or an oil cooler stick, like hanging out the front, like this photo. It's got these canted headlights. It does have fender flares, but the fender flares don't seem to stick out as much as that photo. And then let's see about the rear view. Yeah, you got the rear lights inside the bumper, the tailpipes, two of them in the same position. And then you'll notice the graphic, it's actually quite similar. You can see this has a two-tone graphic. Well, it might be hard at this angle, but there's a lighter gray on this darker gray body. So this is kind of flip-flopped around. Well, anyways, I think it looks pretty much like those photographs. I think I may have pulled up the right photos. Alright, so let's see. We have a silver paint. And then they have this, I guess it's a dark gray metallic on top of it. And we have some orange paint on this marker. I kind of feel like that might be a little bit off because the bump is back here as well. There's a little indentation here, some sort of vent. And then the door handle has some black paint on it. There's a little recess below it. There's a little bump here for the lock. And then you can see tiny bumps. Well, I guess they're depressions where those fender rivets are. Okay. Then there's a black oval here, and it's slightly raised as well. We have some casted in mirrors, and then black paint going around the casting to simulate the molding, and there's a little black on the window itself. So that's pretty good. Yeah, alright. Let's try the front here. One thing that's weak about this one, there's no like indication of light bulbs back there. You know, I don't know why they wouldn't just have in the casting itself like a divot or something so it looks like a light bulb. Or even better yet, a big recess with a protruding bump so it looks like a light bucket with a light bulb. It's just strange that they would just have this blank silver. Alright, well the grill has a nice little texture in there, and then you got the plastic hoses leading to this oil cooler. The orange and silver paint here and this recess look okay. There's a couple of little more recesses there. And then the chin spoiler here is pretty thin actually. Look how low it is to the ground. Unfortunately, I'm now noticing this tire was squished to that base too much. You can see the flat spot. But oddly that's realistic because you know, cars have weight to them and the bottom of the tires do flat out. But I kind of prefer my tires to be round because, you know, I might need to spin it if there's like a problem in one area of the wheel. So while we're here, it says Aoshima, but it doesn't tell you it's a Nissan Laurel. It is screwed together, so modifications will be easy or fixing problems. And then a little silver paint here on this back exhaust. Alright, so yeah, the taillights look great. You know, they're thick, clear red plastic, recessed into the bumper. And then there's just a blank white license plate. This side, yeah, you can see, at first I thought these were casting blemishes, but no, I think it's on purpose. It's supposed to be the screws holding the fender flares. Maybe this is correct, because, you know, the black line is so close to the edge on both sides that maybe this orange is supposed to be staggered forward. Okay. Anyways, no problems on this side. Looks pretty much the same as the other, which makes me wonder where the fuel filler door is. Is it behind the license plate? I'm not sure. Alright, so this is nice as well. You know, you got this stripe and it's got this tiny thin black line around the outside and it's carrying across very well across all three panels there. So that's nice. And now we can see there's a tampo print here of the LBWK. I don't know, maybe that says walk in Japanese. And then we have a hint of a red roll cage or roll bar there, a black interior. Yeah, it's a roll bar. Let's get the flashlight out. Typical molded details with Aoshima, just usually, you know, black plastic, but good details if you pull out a flashlight. It's a shame they don't just buy some different colored plastics, you know, at least like a gray. You could see a lot more if it was like a gray interior. Alright, well, looking at it, I mean, there aren't any major problems. There's no major scratches or gouges or misprinting, so I'm very happy about that. These red wheels are a little crazy looking, but I guess they match the roll bar on the side, so it kind of makes sense. And then being stamped steel wheels, they actually don't look so bad because you don't really expect big air passages like with modern wheels, so You know, the tire's a little messed up, but I will fidgeting around with that. We'll clean it up. And then the nice fact of with the sunken in tires is those flat spots, you can just rotate them up underneath the fender if you don't like that sort of thing. Okay. Yeah, alright, so the treads are okay. These are standard tires across all Aoshimas, it seems. I think they use the same tire molds on all of them, but maybe, who knows? We'll see the next one if they've updated. Alright, so that's nice. We'll put that aside for now. Now, the Toyota Cresta. I don't think I've ever spoken about this one, so I pulled up the Toyota webpage here. And it says up there at the top it came out in 1984, at least this second generation, which seems to match this car's casting the most because it has the rectangular lamps in the bumper, just like this one. So I'm pretty sure this is a second generation Cresta from 84 and up or something. Alright, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's close. I mean, it's a modified casting, so alright. Yeah, if you're curious, this thing has a 2-liter inline 6-cylinder, which I wouldn't expect. When 2 liters, I expect a 4-cylinder. So it's a longitudinal, inline, and then there's 3 different types apparently. Sorry. Okay, well, whatever. Oh, well, 185 horsepower if you're curious about the power. It doesn't say if it's front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, so I don't know. But in 1984, I would guess that these are still rear-wheel drive, but please correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so let me switch over to this one. So this image here also has the headlights, these little turn signals and fog lights or whatever in the bumper, so I thought it would be a good one to try to compare to. Okay. And then I think this is the rear view of the same car. On this car it's got some kicked up exhaust pipes, but at least they're on the right side, the correct side of the this casting here. So I guess that's as good as I'm going to be able to research and get it, without ever seeing the model beforehand. I do my best, guys, but that usually isn't enough. Alright, well, anyways, let's look at this paint. Now, this is looking even better, I think, because it's this metallic, translucent pink. Like, I literally think they painted the model silver first, and then they're shooting a clear pink over it. And it gives it a lot of depth. And look how smooth the paint is. The reflection of the pickup here. It's very nice. It gets a little worse down here. But man, this roof is really nice. Alright, so now you can start seeing silver paint for the window trim. Although on the front is black. And that also carries over to the molded in mirrors. It's got this cool Cresta printing on it. It's kind of flip-flopping here, or it's tapering, it's fading into the silver front end, which is kind of neat, actually. Yeah, so you'll see the silver is transitioning to the pink. It's a really cool, it's like a Falcon tire livery, but with different colors. So this one as well has the stamped steel wheels, but they're silver this time around. And by the way, these things don't really roll. It's just the tires are rubbing inside the casting, so although you can spin the tires, this will not go down a Hot Wheels track. Alright, so this one has a fuel filler on this side. The door handles are sticking out and there's a recess below them. Some black on the window trim here. Okay, there's, no, I thought there might have been some black here, but it's just the way the light is cast on it. Now this one, I do see a casting flaw. A little divot there. Alright, going to the front. The headlights are pretty cool because they're clear plastic, but they managed to paint this tiny little silver box around them, as if they were chrome. So that's pretty good. And then we have the orange over here. Looks alright. These are just painted, but I'm okay with it. They're recessed. And then there's a recess here for the inlet to the radiator. I don't know if there's paint in there. It might just be so far in that it's dark. Actually, looking at this angle, I think there is black paint in there. Just a rectangle there. But the grill is nice, you know, tiny little rectangles, and they're actually recessed a little bit. Okay, so that's neat. This side, I don't see anything really wrong. Except for here. There's a little pink paint there, so I guess there's enough. I think the whole car was painted pink first, and then the silver came on top of it, and then not enough ended up there. Alright. So the taillights, just like the headlights, have this really thin chrome accent here, this time in the middle and around it. So it's pretty well done. Blank license plate, I would rather have something on there, but alright, a little silver there, and then yeah, blanked off exhaust tips, but they're pretty small, so I can understand. Okay, so again, interior-wise, it's gonna be detailed, but only with a flashlight. Nice little cushions there. Stick shift, yeah. Okay, texture on the dashboard. And same as before, just Aoshima, made in China, but it doesn't tell you what the car is. But it is screwed together, so mods can be done easily. Alrighty, well, it's time to pull out a couple other cars here that are related to these things. We'll start with the Laurel. I guess I should put it in front of the Laurel photos, right? So the previous Laurel I have from Aoshima, I think I found out it's from 1972. And the difference is it doesn't have a roll bar inside. The rear bumper is totally different, and it also has a rear wing. The front end, yeah, the headlights are totally different. So yeah, it's a totally different casting all in all. Only the sides look similar. Although actually, you know what, this pink Laurel has a gas tank fuel filler door on this side, but this casting doesn't have any indication of a fuel filler door here. See, there's nothing here, but here you can see that rectangle. So that's weird. Seems a little lazy that they would have skipped such a feature, or maybe it's not a feature, but it's a very visible part of any car, right? So here, this next one is a Konami, and it's the Laurel HT2000 SGX KHC 130. So I kind of think that this is actually the regular stock version of this car. You notice the side glass is totally different. You know, Konami, it's a lot more shallow. And so I don't think it's as realistic when you look at the photograph of the car behind. You know, the windows are much taller in that photograph than this white Konami here. So Aoshima, I think, actually did a better job. Excuse me. Okay. The very last one I'm going to pull up is a Nissan Laurel from TLV. I don't know what year it is. It had a sticker on it, but it fell off. So it's a prior generation, just based on its appearance, I would imagine. Okay, so let's get to the top views here. So which of the Laurels do you like of these two? The one with the round taillights and the wing, or the one we just reviewed with the oil cooler? I don't know. It's a tough call. I guess I'm just going to go with the newer one for now. But I do love the pink on that other one. But there seems to be more detail, obviously, with this latest one. With more parts, at least. Okay, let's switch over to the Cresta. Now, I'm a little confused because Aoshima marks these all as 71, like a GX71. So I have this Aoshima, it just says it's a Mark II GX71, and I think it's from 1984. So it is similar. This next one is a 1984 Mark II GX71 again, I think. So I think maybe You know, they shared the same platform, but they had Mark IIs and Crestas or Cressidas, and maybe there's even a third one. Let's go to this top view here. You'll see in the trunk, you got that depression, and that's on all three of them. So I think they're all sharing the same trunk. And the front hood, yeah, it looks like they're sharing the same front hood as well with that V again. But then the things change with the lights. Alright. And then again I have this Konami coming up, and it's just a stock one, I think. It's the Toyota Mark II X70. Well, maybe this is an older generation, if it's an X70. Yeah, I think it's an older generation because the box here for this Aoshima says GX71 from 1987. So yeah, this shouldn't be up here. So now the question is, which of these three do you guys like? For me, it's a no-brainer. I mean, just the paint job on this pink and silver transition. That's my favorite one for sure. This has a crazier body kit on it with these weird side vents, but I think it actually makes it look worse. If you're gonna go just clean, this is obviously the clean approach. Oh, I think I now recall. I think the Mark II has the slanted front end. You can see how the front ends have a slant to them. But the Cressida or the Cresta has a more vertical, squarish front end. I think that's what I recall from my previous videos. Alrighty. Alright guys, it is possible this is well no actually, I think there's one more casting in this collection, the Grachan 13th collection. It just has a different grille to one of the cars. But I think other than that, I might have every casting from the whole Aoshima Grachan line. It's hard to tell because there's almost no information on any of these collections. And the promotional photos don't really show the front end and the rear ends of many of these cars. They only show the side profile. So it's kind of weak marketing on Aoshima's part. But if anyone's interested, I can put a video up of every Aoshima I have. And then, yeah, just let me know. It'll take a while because I have a bunch of them, but if anyone's into collecting these, because there is such little information on these, it might be helpful for you to see the front and rear ends of these castings. So just leave a comment and I'll try to get around to it. But for today, I'm very happy that I got both of these. Quality control wise, no major problems. Amount of effort wise, they're pretty good as far as the amount of effort and details on these things. So I have nothing to complain about, which is odd. I usually have a lot to complain about. If I had to nitpick, it would just be nice to have a different color interior, maybe just molded in brown or gray, but alright, I'll live with it. Okay, I will see you guys around. Thanks for taking the time to watch.